Mother Nature has decided, hey, go ahead, have some baseball.
Go on. Go ahead. Just for tonight.
Of course, the threat of rain was really prevalent the last couple of days, as Ohio's been the epicenter for baseball with the Home Run Derby on Monday night and then the All-Star game last night.
Yes.
Cincinnati got rain early the last 2 days. Then it cleared up for what was projected to be a huge set of thunderstorms around 8 o'clock.
Right.
And Cincinnati, a great host for the All-Star game the last couple of days.
That was very, very busy last night. And we'll regale you with some stories from inside the park and outside the park.
Well, at least the ones that we can tell you.
Right. As apparently...
there are a bunch on my blog.
Yeah, not only am I a bus driver and a sports announcer, but I guess I have a future as a police officer.
You look like 5-0.
We'll tell you about that as we get further into this contest tonight between the Fighting 63rd and Toledo, post 553.
The sun shining, and everybody's looking at the party. So, should be back in the middle of the night, so keep the rules. Keep faith with my teammates. Keep my temper. Keep myself fit. Keep a stout heart in defeat. Keep my pride under victory. Keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body.
The national anthem will have the starting lineups for tonight's contest. The Fighting 63rd will be the visitors this evening. And we'll come back and give you the starting lineups coming up on zsportslive.com.
Hey you, yeah you, don't let this summer be another string of nothing but video games and potato chips. How about spending the day with some giraffes, zebra, bison, camels, and more? You can even feed them if you dare. Enjoy a camel ride, browse the gift shop, grab a bite to eat at the snack bar, or cheer on your favorite porker at the Pork Chop Downs Raceway. Only 17 miles from Cedar Point, African Safari Wildlife Park makes a great stop for all ages. African Safari Wildlife Park, a world away in your own backyard.
Ben Rose Body Shop on State Route 65 in Cairo is now Ben Rose Collision Center. New name, same great service. In business for over 20 years, Ben Rose is family-owned and operated. We provide free, computerized estimates which can be sent directly to your insurance company. We repair all makes and models, and we cost less than the other guys. Our customers are really important to us, and our friendly staff makes certain you are over 100% satisfied. If you've been in a rollover, fender bender, or even just need a paint job, see the experts at Ben Rose Collision Center on State Route 65 in Cairo, 419-641-2231.
Wow, they're kind of like us. We charge less than the other guys
Oh,
for our advertising.
I was wondering how that was going to turn out. I never know.
Neither do I. The starting lineups for the Fighting 63rd. Leading off and playing center field, number 5, Tristan Becker. Batting second at shortstop is Jared Davis. Hitting third on the mound will be Brad Croy. Adam Purdy will hit fourth and play left. Isaac Fitzgerald will be behind the plate in the number 5 spot. Ben Deitering, the number 6 hitter, over at first base. Brad Stolley will hit seventh and play third. Elisha Jones, the number 8 hitter, at second base. And Terry Dockery, the number 9 hitter, in right. Again, Becker in center, Davis at short, Croy pitching, with Purdy in left, Fitzgerald at catching, and Deitering at first. Stolley at third, Jones at second, and Dockery in right. For Toledo Post 553, Chase Lonnewick will be the second baseman and hit first. Playing left field, the number 29 is Jay Denman. In right field, number 5, Colin Culture. The shortstop, number 15, Colin Borst. At third will be number 9, Nick Lankert. The center fielder is Ryan Moibus. Hitting in the number 7 spot, the first baseman, Jude Neary. The designated hitter, number 3, is Joe DeNidro. And catching is Nate Grady. I can't read my own writing.
Well, that's not a first.
No, really.
That's a pretty normal thing.
Lonnewick at second, Denman in left, and Culture in right, with Borst catching, Lankert at third, Mobius at center, Neary the first baseman, DeNidro the designated hitter, and Grady catching.
So I've been sitting right quick.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be great for Tristan Becker to get his Mike Trout on here to open the game?
Oh, yeah.
Mike Trout, though, that's interesting. I didn't realize. A single at his first All-Star at bat in the first, a double to lead off the second one, a triple to lead off the third one, and a home run last night.
Yep. He's hit for the cycle and in the leadoff role.
He was easily my vote for the MVP, too. We were debating that in the press box in center field, and a lot of people, Tom Usher included, thought maybe it would go to Prince Fielder for his 2 RBI, but I said, man, you can't go to anybody but Trout. And he's one of my favorites to watch last night, too, because he and the right fielder, the left fielder, Adam Jones from the Baltimore Orioles, they were dancing. They were having a dance-off in the outfield during the inning.
That is neat.
I'm like,
talking laid back.
24 years, he'll be 24 years old. He's already the first player in Major League Baseball history to be the MVP in consecutive years. He's going to have a decent career.
Oh, yeah. And also, you know, they had the all-time Reds
franchise
team, the
four,
franchise four, being Barry Larkin,
Johnny
Bench, Joe Morgan, and Pete Rose.
Yeah. I'll say right now, Pete Rose is a hell of a guy. I don't care what anybody ever says about him.
Good dude.
Yeah.
You know, and
he's got some interesting observations about Bert Blyleven.
The atmosphere all around the park was great. I mean, you know, it was a lot of stuff going on outside the game. People were all over the place. Fountain Square was packed. They had 2 big screen TVs down there, and you know, Todd Frazier got just a huge ovation. You know, even from a few blocks away from the stadium.
Yeah, it was a heck of a time. You know, I had a lot of fun inside the stadium, and definitely, it definitely was a great thing for Cincinnati.
And you know, I mean, next time, you know,
I think 30 years.
I think the next All-Star game we should put in for credentials. I mean, if you know, all the places that got credentialed, you know, our chances are probably pretty good.
Yeah, what he's alluding to is the fact that they gave out over 3,000 credentials. I mean, that, you know, in itself is...
On the mound, warming Warming up for
is
Toledo,
something.
Tristan Mounts.
Was the Journal Herald, were they there?
No,
Because I'm just wondering, because if they got a credential, then we definitely
there was
would
a
have gotten
reporter
one.
from the Philippines.
Well, the Journal Herald was, when I was growing up, was Dayton's morning paper, and then it went away to just the afternoon paper, the Dayton Daily News. So
Pete Rose did ask me if the Chillicothe paper got a spot. He's a big fan of the Wapa Daily News, as he put it.
the WAPA.
He apparently cannot say the word Wapa Canetta. So that's how it turned out.
I wonder if he's been to the WAPA Theater.
Blue against red.
Yes.
It's very different that he gets that, the light blue, the powder blue, almost the San Diego Chargers powder blue for Toledo.
Yes. And the catcher,
Kicking off the ball game
nice
for the
little
Fighting
decorative
63rd, the center fielder,
sort
number
of
5, Tristan
armor.
Becker.
chest protector, yeah.
Of course, the white pants, that makes it look, it's a sharp look. And the stirrup socks from the pitcher, too.
Oh,
And
yeah,
fonts.
that's 70s.
He's got a throwback look to him. Kind of like the young man, I can't think of his name, is 22 from Tampa Bay last night. Had the exact same look.
Yeah, those throwback hats.
They're ugly.
Yeah, they were bad. You take the first two.
First pitch at 6:11 p.m. to Becker is a ball. So he's quickly ahead in the count. Tristan, the center fielder out of St. Mary's. Hits one towards the right and easily scooped up by Lonzenak. And he's got Becker as the first out of the game, so no Mike Trout moment here. That'll bring up Jared Davis,
Now stepping
the
in the
second
shortstop,
baseman out of Bath High School.
number 1, Jared
Fighting 63rd as the
Davis.
visitors, hitting here first in their home park. This is a game that they did not make it out of last year,
Brad.
as they
Brad.
lost, I believe it was 10 to
Having turtle
6.
races in the fifth
Here
inning.
is first pitch fouled off. Actually, 9 to 2. Where'd it go? 12 to 7 against Port Clinton. It'll be a year ago tomorrow.
We had that game.
2 straight strikes on Davis. And he's behind in the count, center right in the middle of the batter's box as he waits for the next pitch from Fonts. And it's a strike. And hang the K up backwards. Ottawa 2 up and 2 quickly down. It's only taken them, I'm not joking, this is about 90 seconds.
Wow.
The pitcher, number 2, Brad Croy.
So now Brad
Oh.
Croy, who we'll see on the mound to begin the next half inning, step in trying to keep this one going. Very Julio Franco with the bat above the head.
Yes.
Fonts, he must have something else to do. He's working.
I was about to say, maybe he
Very, very
DVR'd
quick.
the All-Star game last night and hadn't got a chance to watch it yet.
75 degrees here in Ottawa. No chance of rain. Beautiful. Winds out of the northeast at 5 miles an hour. As the right-hander deals, this one knocked into right field, and it'll go foul up against the fence. So Croy will have 2 strikes, and he'll do it again.
I have to say that somebody had mentioned to me today that they thought the renditions of the national anthems were less than,
Stellar.
yeah. And that my daughter Lily, who's going to be singing the national anthem at the zsportslive.com bowl, could have done a much better job.
Well, I don't know about the All-Star game. Truthfully, we were inside and I didn't hear most of it, but
I heard it
I'll
outside.
tell you about this
and
pitch. Croy fouls it straight back. And today's foul ball is brought to you by Benro Collision Center. I thought that the girl at the home run derby, the blind girl from
Yes.
Kentucky,
Wow.
was fantastic. That was one of
Absolutely.
the best ones I've ever heard. Croy now with 2 strikes and a ball. Swings, knobs one right back through the middle, and again, there's a chance for the out. 3 up and 3 down as Lonzenik out of Toledo Whitmer High School gets the out back in the bottom of the first inning on zsportslive.com.
Teamwork. It's not just a term reserved for the football field or the basketball court. At Dominion, we believe that teamwork is so important to our success, we count it as one of our core values. Partnering with our communities to make them a better place to live, work, and play. We are proud to serve our customers in Northwest Ohio. We are Dominion. For more information on our company, please visit our website at dom.com. Dominion, we're proud to be part of high school sports and proud to be part of our community.
So 3 up and 3 down for Ottawa in the top half of the first.
I thought you were referring just in general.
No. Again, the visitors
okay.
on the scoreboard. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3 in Lonziniak, Denman, and Kocher out of Ohio Dominican University. You know who his teammate's going to be at ODU next year? Assuming that all those kids have graduated on their roster.
Yeah.
Clay Grubb out of Macomb.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a pretty good one, too. He's got a nice read on ground balls.
He should go check out some volleyball while he, is at ODU, and check out Miss Notley.
There you go. See, so
Shannon?
local
Yep.
connections all around. But the 1, 2, and 3, the winner of this game, plays back here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. as they'll take on Napoleon. The loser plays Friday night at Findlay
Is Toledo
at 7
the
o'clock.
Toledo team? Are they staying at the Ottawa Holiday Inn, just in case they win?
No, actually, with the way that Ottawa has been the past month and a half, I think that there's a visiting team parked right across the street. They're going to try and do that.
The second baseman, number 2.
So we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
instead of building that one down near in Cincinnati at the Creation Museum, the Ken Hams who just built it up here.
6 foot 175 for Croy, and he fires a strike with his right hand. Here is Lonzinek. Ooh, caught one in the bottom half of the strike zone for strike 2. Just trying to keep it moving. 0-2 pitch. This one knocked off the end of the bat, right off the right shin of Dietering, and the problem with that is that Davis went out in the outfield and got it. Dietering gave up on the play, and Davis almost threw him out with Croy covering.
Waiting to see how they score it.
Left fielder, Jay Denman.
They didn't score it. Here's a bunt trying to move the runner over to second. No throw to second. The one to first to Dietering will get the out as Denman is thrown out. I mean, I don't think it was hit that hard.
No, I think
I'll
it's
be
an
honest
error.
with you. I thought it was an error.
Colin Couch.
Because he didn't put his glove all the way down. It took the hop behind the glove and hit him in the knee.
Right.
To me, that's an error. Colin Kocher out of Ohio Dominican, who we were talking about earlier, is the batter now with a runner in Chase Lonziniak. Lonixak is actually his name. At second base. He'll get a lead here against Croy, who fires to the plate. Ball hit down to third to Stolly, who stumbles a little bit, throws one in the dirt that bounces and hits off the shoulder of Dietering. So the runner moves to third. Stolly gets some advice. And there's now runners at the corners with 2 outs against Stolly, or against Croy, rather.
Forrest.
Sorry, 1 out. I was thinking that we should have had that one.
It should be 3 outs.
Here's the pitch from Croy. Going, both runners have reached on errors. The throw over, and he threw it short. And I heard the words of encouragement from the bench about, the fingers down.
Right.
Ball up high for Croy, puts him behind the count at 2-0. Runner is going. Fitzgerald's throw is going to be cut off at second with the stolen base. Puts runners now dangerous position for Ottawa here in the bottom of the first, with runners at second and third and just 1 out. Ball off the end of the bat to Dietering. He'll look, throw to the plate, fires a strike to Fitzgerald. Now they got the runner in a rundown. No throw to third, so everybody's safe.
Yeah, Dodring was right there. He was maybe a step away from touching the bag, but took too much time and then threw it home. And by that time, Boris was already there at first, and now they're loaded.
Wanakzak did a good idea, or had a good idea, to hold it up as long as he could. But that's a good play, and still, no official hits for Toledo, but they've got the bases loaded with one out here in the first. And that one's going to be looped foul. That one could have really done some damage in front of Purdy. So a ball and a strike with one out in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that hit by Borst would go down as a fielder's choice.
Yeah, so 2 errors and a fielder's choice so far, and not enough of a reach. Now 2-1. As Croy, the right-hander, comes set. Comes to the plate, low and in the dirt. Great stop with the backhand by Fitzgerald. Let's see, it's the 5 previous times I've been here, that is a recurring thing about balls being in the dirt and the catcher's having to make plays or runs at third coming directly off of them because it's a big area behind home plate. Consecutive balls fouled off now, 3-2.
Foul ball into the parking lot, brought to you by Benrose Collision Center.
Somebody's going to need it before this game's over.
Yeah.
They aren't missing these pitches by much. Pitch by Croy, and it's fouled off to the right. Nobody's going to get to it. And another one. Benrose going to get a lot of mentions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. They're going to be very happy with you about that. So runners on every base. And here comes the first run of the game. That's a walk. Took 9 pitches to do it.
And our run scores without the benefit of a hit.
Yeah, the fielder's choice and 2 errors and a walk so far. Here's Mobius now in his first at-bat. Ryan going to Heidelberg to play his college baseball. Takes a pitch up high to the, we'll say, dismay of the Ottawa fans. Working quickly, squares to bunt, pulls it back. There's the strike. 2-1 now. Stolly came charging down the line. So you got to believe, if you even think about putting that bat out there, I would think you'd have to believe that your runner in Kosher has got really good speed. Or that you're going to be able to put that down the line perfectly. Nope. One up to Davis at second. He'll turn the one at second. Not get the one at first, so the run will score. And it is now 2-0 Toledo.
And another fielder's choice.
So 2 runs on no hits so far officially.
First baseman, Jude Neri.
Jude Neri will step up.
The 7th batter of the inning.
Out of Stritch High School. And he'll foul one straight back.
And the foul ball brought to you by Benrose Collision Center in Caro.
Right off 65. Or on 65, depending on how you look at it. That's another one foul back. So 0-2 and a chance to get out of the inning with no hits but the 2 runs of damage for Croy. His pitch is a ball.
You already thought about it.
I already thought pretty hard about it in that left-handed batter's box. Joe Dandino, the designated hitter, waiting on deck. Here is a ball slapped down the left field line. And foul. So the count stays at 1-2. in the bottom of the first. As Croy's thrown back a ball from Neary. Officials going to look for the rest of the baseballs. I heard those cost quite a lot here.
They're
Pretty expensive baseballs.
primo.
Got to pay for those lights somehow. 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Runners going. Fouled off again. Dandito, I think I know why he's playing DH. He wasn't going to have a shot at that one back there in the on-deck circle. So we'll do it again here for the third time on 1-2. And it is fouled off the glove of Fitzgerald. So runners at the corners. And 2 outs. Runner going to second. Ball hit to center is no problem for Becker. 2 runs come across. No hits in the inning. But as we go to the top half of the second inning, Ottawa finds themselves trailing by a 2-0 margin here on zsportslive.com.
A visit to African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio is bound to bring out the kid in all of us. After all, it's not just your ordinary trip to the zoo. It's a jungle adventure. You'll feel like you're leading the expedition as you ride through the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals if you dare, and capture the moment on film for your unbelieving friends. Better yet, bring them along. See rare and exotic animals from around the world, including the world's largest antelope, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on earth, the African warthog. Enjoy a camel or pony ride, or browse through the Simba Lodge gift shop with items from around the globe. Sit in on live educational shows or cheer on your favorite porker in Pork Chop Downs. There's so much to see and do at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the signs. Just 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
Top of the second inning here in Ottawa, fighting 63rd, the visitors today, as they will send Adam Purdy, Isaac Fitzgerald, and Ben Deitering, 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. 1, 2, and 3 is what they win down in the first. Ground out, strikeout, and a ground out. And it's kind of an odd game with the 2 runs coming across in the first. Bases loaded at one point with 1 out for Toledo, and they had no official hits.
Right. And, and they're the home team.
Right.
Kind of like what the American League's going to be next year at Petco in San Diego.
I'm still not used to using the DH in National League parks.
Yeah, that was weird last night also.
I kept looking at that and thinking, why did they select a DH? Oh, yeah. It counts. Purdy, the left-handed batter, stands in here out of Elida High School. Tips back the first one into the mitt of Nate Grady, set to play at OSU. He's one of 2. He and teammate Casey Johnson both going to play in Columbus. At least I assume it's Ohio State. Either that or they're going to Oregon State or Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
But I assume that it's Ohio State University.
Is there any other OSUs?
There's a handful of them. Ball low, ball high. Runs the count to 2-1 for Purdy, the right fielder for the Fighting 63rd. Fitzgerald waits on deck. Doesn't have to swing the bat. Not one of those 3 pitches has come anywhere close. He's got speed if he gets on base, too, especially with Fitzgerald hitting behind him. We've seen him knock in Purdy a couple of times this year. But he fouls one back to even the count. And again, Benro collision. Center foul ball.
It almost made a collision with the snack bar back there.
I think Chris Coleman probably would have caught it. He's had a lot of practice the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the pitch, and Purdy fouls it off again.
Kind of funny during the batting, the home run contest. Sean Casey.
Yeah, he's got a nice bruise on his hand. I saw him yesterday. He walked past me, and all I could see was the red hand. 3-2 pitch to Purdy. The leadoff hitter is a walk. So he will wander down to first base and bring up the Rough Rider and Isaac Fitzgerald.
Sean, the unofficial mayor of Cincinnati.
It's probably a better job than the actual mayor. It's from what I've heard.
Except he's a Pittsburgh guy.
Well, can't blame him for all that. Fitzgerald takes first pitch strike.
Hey, how about those Reds fans loving on the Cardinals?
They booed Pujols too, though.
Yeah.
To be fair, they booed a lot of people, and I saw a thing, now that you mention that, about people had a problem with that. They're just passionate.
Yeah.
They boo. I mean, you're supposed to boo your rival. Purdy tears up the dirt with a lead off of first. Ball gets away from Grady, and Purdy will go to second. Ball and a strike now to Fitzgerald, who we've seen have his moments this season hitting the ball.
Oh, well, like with the talking on the booing thing, they booed Andy Dalton in the softball game. So
to be fair, Andy Dalton boos Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. 1-1 pitch here to Fitzgerald. Hits it down to third. Lankert picks it up, and a nice stretch by Jude Neary, the first baseman, to get the out. That'll bring up Ben Didering.
First baseman, number 21, Ben Didering.
Didering, one of the 2 errors for the Fighting 63rd in the first inning. It actually technically was part of both of them. One of them just on the throw across the diamond from Stolle.
Right, and then the one that just went right through his legs.
Well, he made a nice attempt to stop the one from Stolle, but it bounced off the dirt and hit him in the face. And he golf swings at one here for strike one. So Demon, Mobius, and Kuchar waiting in the outfield to see if Ottawa can put anything in play for them. Didering takes a strike on the outside corner, and he has to dive out of the batter's box to voice his displeasure. We'll do it here with no balls and 2 strikes, 1 out and a runner, and Purdy on second. Ottawa trying to cut the lead in half. Didering fouls off a ball. Oh no, they didn't get that off Grady's hand on the bounce.
Yeah. He's going out just to kind of walk it off a little bit, it looks like. Threw it out to the pitcher.
Trying to buy himself a second. In Toledo, 8-10-1 on the year. 19 games this season, but more than, close to 50 scheduled.
Right.
So Mother Nature has not been a fan of baseball this year.
And unfortunately here, the Ottawa tournament got washed out, and then there's just no room or no time to get those games back.
Toledo played in Fort Wayne, Indiana last weekend. Played 5 games, won 4 out of 5. Actually got to the championship game in the tournament that they were playing in, the Hoosier Classic Baseball Tournament, before they were beaten by the Flippin' Frogs. That is the actual name of the team.
Can you say Flippin'?
The Flippin' Frogs out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
We can say whatever we want, but,
2-2 pitch to Didering is high for a ball.
That's a great name.
That's the name of it. The Flippin' Frogs. They went 5-0 and won the Hoosier Classic Baseball Tournament.
Well, the name like that, you deserve to win something.
All right. Didering swings and misses mightily. And he is a strikeout victim at the hands of Tristan Fonts.
Third baseman, Brad
Bring up
Stolle.
Brad Stolle. Stolle's done a little bit of everything in his couple of years here for Ottawa.
Brad from LCC.
Right-hander stands in the back of the batter's box. Waits for the pitch. It's a strike. One thing you can say about that location is it's been consistent. It's been a strike for everybody.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot more red hitters have seen that strike than have the blue hitters. And Stolle, well, he tried to put one in the trees.
Yeah.
Strike two, so 2 outs, a runner on second, and a 2-0 lead for Toledo. Fonta's pitch, high for a ball. It's kind of one of those wasteful pitches. You get ahead as a pitcher a couple of balls, and you think, okay, I can see if he chases one. If he doesn't, no harm done. Fonts takes a long look at second before he throws a curveball. It's hit out to second, and it'll be the third time that an out has been recorded from Chase Lonziniak from Toledo Whitmer after an inning and a half. Ottawa trails 2-0. This is Legion Baseball on zsportslive.com.
You can like us on Facebook, browse our site on the web, but you need to visit Beckman Jewelers downtown Ottawa. Experience the joy of trying on a new watch. Light up your finger with a diamond ring. Feel the excitement of finding that special gift. Share your thoughts with Beckman's friendly staff. 5 generations of Beckman Jewelers have been touching hearts with extraordinary jewelry and exceptional service, hand to hand, since 1888. Beckman Jewelers, downtown Ottawa.
8-9-1 for Toledo here in the second inning, leading 2-0 against Brad Croy, the Ottawa Glandorf Titan product. They will send Dandino, the designated hitter, Grady, the catcher, and Chase Lonziniak, the second baseman rather, to the plate here. He will be making his second appearance. He reached on an error and later scored one of the 2 runs in the first. Again, the 2 runs in the first inning for Toledo. Both came off of errors and a couple of fielders' choice. No official hit for them so far.
Trying to get the pronunciations down.
Stepping in for Toledo.
His name's actually Lonixak. I keep saying it wrong.
Thanks, man.
Sorry about that. I don't know why I read it differently every time. First pitch from Croy to Joe Dandino is a strike. Croy working quickly. Here comes pitch number 2. About 3 seconds after he got the ball the first time. It's low for a ball. This one's a strike. Dandino, who was a replacement for the DH today, wasn't originally scheduled to start as the DA. Devin Dempsey was the DH. Maybe that's why. Kind of a lazy, half-hearted swing from Dandino for strike 3.
Now to the catcher for Toledo Post 553.
Nate Grady.
Nate Grady, we've seen he's been involved in a couple of plays so far. The catcher's first pitch is probably the hardest one that Croy has thrown so far for a strike. Fouls one off. Now for strike 2. What do we call it? First one, ball?
I don't know. This one bounced away.
Okay. Now a pitch by Croy. Laced into right field and right at Purdy. He comes on to make the play. Kind of confused. His first step was a little confusing, and then he came right in and was able to almost go to a knee to make the catch.
Back to the top of the order for Toledo.
And Lonizak again, he reached on the air. And good thing that that last ball was caught by Purdy, because that one definitely would have had the runner move.
Oh, yeah.
As that ball took a long bounce all the way to the backstop. Pitch by Croy, fouled off.
Brought to you by Penrose Collision Center.
Pretty convenient location.
Yes. Right on 65 and Carroll.
1-1 pitch is low. And I'm almost going to start counting between the time that Croy gets the ball and the time he throws it the next time, because it's probably less than 10 seconds.
And, ooh, That car
hit the
right
concrete.
there almost needed Ben Rose to come out here and fix the dent, but it just missed it.
And another one. So 3 straight.
Oh, I forgot the other job that I have now, or at least I had over the weekend, was a photographer. I got to take pictures at FanFest for the baseball card, for the kids. Go make your own baseball card sort of thing.
Ball outside, 3-2 now for Croy, or 2-2. I'm sorry, for Croy. It was 3-2. I thought so. I keep making the mistake of looking at the scoreboard. They must be sleeping down there. Lonnick reaches again. In it, so photographer, cop,
Announcer,
other guy.
Yep.
And,
see, I got to get my fingers smacked a couple times by energetic kids.
Throw down in time, and Lonnick is gone.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
Denman's going to get another chance to bat in the next inning. Unfortunately for him, Ottawa gets a chance first in the third, down 2-0.
Four Seasons Express Car Wash, now open on Easttown Road, is the solution for your dirty car and now your dirty dog. Four Seasons Express Car Wash is offering free vacuums that suck with the purchase of any car wash. Four Seasons Express Car Wash conveniently offers $16 grill-size propane refills, where you buy 3, get the 4th free. For a spotless vehicle and unlimited car wash packages, deals on propane, free vacuums, and do-it-yourself pet washes, stop by 980 Easttown Road, just south of Allentown Road.
As we're back here on zsportslive.com, Ottawa with their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. The All-Star Fan Fest at the Duke Energy Center, same place where they hold the Reds Fan Fest. And more than one person that I talked to had said that, I guess from a Reds fan point of view, that there was a lot more player interaction at Reds Fest than there was at Fan Fest. The Fan Fest appeared to be more driven by buy this shirt for $100. A lot of vendors in there.
Funding.
Yes.
I wanted to get a hat, but it was like $60.
Yeah, a lot of vendors that were in there. I mean, there was still, a lot of stuff going on, for the kids. I got to be a part of the, they called it the field, where you put the ball on the tee and the kid can take a whack at it. My hand got in the way a few times. But it was either that or the kid didn't wait for me to pull my hand away. Luckily, it was those little foam bats. So otherwise, it would have been a lot less pleasant experience.
8, 9, and 1 for the 63rd. That'll be Elijah Jones, Terry Dockery III, and Tristan Becker. All 3 have been all-league selections. Actually, in the case of Jones, he was all PCL and NWC this season. First team for both. Now playing second base here. And he will bunt one off to the left. That'll drop foul in front of the third baseman, Nick Lankard.
Now post 553 there, the Hawks.
Well, and what's interesting is they're a little hard at times to find stuff on, because they have a 16 and under team, and then they have 2 different other teams. They have a college team and the Legion team. Mm-hmm. The college team, they are doing really well.
A lot of opportunities up that way.
Yeah, well, Toledo's pretty big. Or the Toledo area. Jones swings and misses for strike 3, and that'll bring up Dockery, as that is the third strikeout by a member of Post 63. Again, the winner comes back here tomorrow night, and they will play Napoleon at 6 p.m. We'll have that here with, if the Fighting 63rd can come back and pick up 3 runs. Still a lot of time left.
The River Bandits
in the 3rd inning. Ooh. Dockery turns inside on 1 and takes it for a harmless ball, but it almost wasn't.
I saw something, and hopefully tomorrow night we'll get a chance to confirm as a swing and a miss for strike two, that the River Bandits went to Alaska for a tournament.
Hey, if you got funding, you can do a lot of things. I'm with that guy.
Yeah.
Dave says they've been doing it for 12 years. Dockery knobs one off. That's the best way I can describe it. And he almost... Well, they said he fouled it off. I was wondering, it had to have hit the plate to be able to turn back like that. But the most impressive thing about that, he hit that about 3 feet in front of home plate. He almost beat that out anyway.
Yeah.
But again, he fouled it right off the top of the plate. And the count stays at 1-2 with one out in the top of the third inning.
Around the eyes.
High. See what the next offering here on 2-2 is. That one's high and at the eyes if you're Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Or you're some of those hitters last night during the All-Star game. That would just be called perfect. Chris Bryant probably would have swung at one of those. 3-2. There's a walk. Second time now that a free pass has been issued by Colin Burst. Or, excuse me, by Founts.
Top of the order, center fielder.
Back to the top of the order.
Tristan Becker.
So Becker, who had a nice play in the field, and in terms of batting, he grounded out in the first. So 0 for 1 so far for the Rough Rider. I guess I needed that. The throw is in time.
The rosters blew right back at you.
Good thing is I caught it. Lead off there by Dockery at first. The throw over again, and you know, it's maybe they've seen Continental baseball.
Yeah,
because he would run any time that he would be on base.
They've got the scouting report on him.
Pitch low to Becker for a ball. Now the same duo doing it again here as Dockery gets the lead off. Just the right hand hangs out there. Vaughn's this time throws the strike to even the count at 1-1. Again, a 2-0 Toledo lead. In the district, Toledo fared pretty well last year. Made it to, I think it was the semifinals in the district tournament. Dockery goes, and the ball is fouled off to the right behind the dugout. And it'll roll aimlessly, or harmlessly rather, into the parking lot.
A Benrose Collision Center foul ball. Parks itself underneath that white car over there. Not mine.
Hopefully they don't roll over it.
Yeah.
1-2 count with one out. Throw over again. That's the third one. And I don't know if at first that if Neary doesn't make some kind of swipe tag that he didn't have Dockery there, because he never put his front hand down. Pitch to the plate. Fouled off again by Becker.
Back to the screen. So how likely do you think that this screen all the way down the baseline, or at least past the dugout in Major League Baseball, do you think that's going to happen?
I don't at all. Throw over again, and they've thrown over 4 times to try and get Dockery now. Each one was back-to-back. And then after the first time that they threw over twice against Dockery, he tried to steal second. See what he does here on 1-2. He'll take a decent lead, and Becker will take a ball. So he checks the signs down the third base line, steps back in the box, and looks for something to do. Trying to be very big, very beneficial for Ottawa if they can get a run in here.
And he grounded out to the second baseman to lead off the game.
If history is any indication, they're about to throw over again. Dockery, a little shimmy shake at first. And a strike. Becker, I think he kind of knew it, as he's the second out and the fourth strikeout for Ottawa.
Shortstop, Jared.
He's
Davis.
laughing as he comes over.
Yeah, Jared Davis was the first strikeout victim. He struck out looking in the first.
So, again, Dockery is... And the thing is, he doesn't even have a really big lead. That's the interesting part, but he's got so much speed. Davis fouls off the first pitch to the left and down the third base line. So 0-1. Pitch here with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Second time around for Davis. As you heard Dave say, he pops one out to center. And it is put away to end the half inning. Is coming in quickly to make the play was Mobius, and he was moving. I think he was going to try and pick up the stolen base. 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third here in Ottawa.
If you're planning a graduation party, wedding reception, or just a gathering of friends, the number to call is 419-286-2873 for MTC Tents, Tables, and Chairs. MTC specializes in tents for any event. They can provide round and banquet tables and even have white chairs for wedding. MTC Tents, Tables, and Chairs now accepts credit card payments. No party is too big or too small, and delivery is available to a party. Call 419-286-2873.
As we head to the bottom of the third, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Hawks of post 553. Denman, Coucher, and Borst.
I don't know a lot of things, but I know this, that one way or another we'll have at least one more game of Ottawa Legion baseball.
Yes.
It just depends if it's Thursday or Friday.
Right.
Again, if they win, they come back here tomorrow at 6 to play. If they lose, they would go to Findlay on Friday night and take on some combination. I don't know what G3 is. I'm guessing...
G2 is Gatorade.
Well, so there's that.
Stepping in, Jay Denman.
They would take on, actually, if they lost, they would take on either Toledo or Napoleon on Friday night.
So they could play these guys again.
Theoretically. In a different location. Pitch. That was a late strike call.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was already back home before that one was called. Denman took consecutive strikes to open this at bat. Now he takes a ball. And he is behind on the count at 1-2. Swings, puts one down to third. Stolle picks it up, comes across in time to Dietering. So he makes it easier than the adventure that he had the first time that he fielded the ground ball.
Yes.
Back in the first. And Denman is gone.
Right fielder, Colin Coucher.
Colin Coucher, again, we talked about him in the opening. ODU is where he is headed to play his collegiate baseball. Steps in here, and there it is. There's that low strike again. Both teams, though, we said have been getting it, called the exact same way. There's no variance in it whatsoever.
Right.
Pitch from Croy, fouled off 0-2 now.
And fouled off into the parking lot. Brought to you by Ben Rose Collision Center.
We need a sound effect when that happens.
Yeah.
Like a crashing window. Hopefully not a crashing window. Well, for us, Benro would probably be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Pitch foul down the right field line. Third one of those we've seen today. That's the first one, though. I think hit that hard on a line.
Yeah, the umpire down there at the first baseline crouched down a little bit, get out of the way.
Croy spreads and throws, and again fouled back. This one with Colin Burst waiting on deck, and he's the one. He's got the high stirrup socks, the baby blue, almost Carolina blue.
I was thinking that earlier.
This one again fouled off, heading towards the pool. Pool which obviously is not open right now.
No.
Very high water level over there too.
I don't think it's been warm enough to go swimming in a pool.
I think it's almost perfect out right now. About 75 degrees. It's perfect enough for a strikeout. That's exactly what happened there. Colin Kocher is sent down, and quickly there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As Colin Burst from Hillsdale comes in. Ooh, made his teammates nervous.
Look out. That did hit a car.
They will need to call who?
Ben Rose Collision Center in Cairo.
Yeah, they need to do that quickly. Luckily for them, he hit the tire. 0-1 now with 2 outs for Croy. And, you know, I just went through that whole soliloquy about low strikes. And then the exact opposite happens. 1-1 is the count for the former Titan. 1-2 now after another foul ball.
6 in a row set down since that first inning where he had a little bit of trouble.
And still has not given up a hit. An actual hit. He's given up a couple fielder's choices and a couple errors. They appeal, and vehemently the umpire down the first baseline says no swing.
And we haven't had to go to the replay in my basement in Ottawa.
Forget about going to the replay. That is a strikeout to end the 3rd. Croy is working it. You heard Dave say 7 straight now. He's set down. Still 2-0 though Toledo as we go to the top of the 4th.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Carpet Mart, 1316 East Main Street in Ottawa, for a great selection of carpet and vinyl flooring. Carpet Mart at 1316 East Main Street in Ottawa, 419-523-9500. Shop smart, shop Carpet Mart.
Are you ready for an adventure? Experience the Midwest's only drive-through safari park located in Port Clinton, Ohio. Go to www.africansafariwildlifepark.com for more information.
As we head to the 4th. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for Ottawa: Croy, Purdy, and Fitzgerald. Neither team has given up a hit yet.
That's kind of different.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it also helps that the center fielder for Toledo made a heck of a play. Mobius to end the last time, and then Purdy made one for Ottawa in right field to keep that stat true.
2 runs and no hits, no errors for post 553. And nothing across for Ottawa. Actually, they have 2 errors.
He's coming up to Tantric. Speaking of Brad Croy, he's got to get a hit. You cannot come up to this song down and out and not be ready to get a hit.
Dave going outside the box on
Dave
the
went dark. Dave's ultra dark on this playlist now. Here's the pitch. Croy looped out to second, and again, there is a stop by Lonixac. He's got 4 of those now.
Right fielder.
Second time he got Croy.
Purdy steps up, the left-handed batter, in his first at-bat, he
walked.
And was stuck at second when the inning ended. So second time through the lineup here for Ottawa, looking to be more fruitful than the first time. Purdy loops one down to first. That took an odd bounce. Jude Neary is able to use his big frame and lumber over there to get the out.
And this one looking a lot like the first inning where very few pitches. thrown by the Toledo team, and Fitzgerald, he grounded out to third his first time up.
Fouled a couple off, too, so he wasn't that far off. As now Fonts throws a ball.
And that is high for a ball. Waiting in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a shot this inning is Dietering. But
second pitch is a strike.
1-1 the count.
Here in the fourth, game less than an hour old. That one bounces and hits the catcher in the shoulder. Nate Grady throws it back to the pitcher with a little, maybe a little extra on it. Says, hey, if you could get that a little higher next time.
Yeah. It's a nice on the stop there by the catcher, and pretty cool equipment.
Oh.
And whoa!
Get out of here.
Line drive to the shortstop,
Burst.
And he puts it away.
He jumps up and just snags it out of the air. That's not even fair.
Nothing across for the Fighting 63rd in the fourth. We head to the bottom of inning number 4. The score remains 2-0 in favor of Post 553 on zsportslive.com.
You can like us on Facebook, browse our site on the web, but you need to visit Beckman Jewelers downtown Ottawa. Experience the joy of trying on a new watch. Light up your finger with a diamond ring. Feel the excitement of finding that special gift. Share your thoughts with Beckman's friendly staff. 5 generations of Beckman Jewelers have been touching hearts with extraordinary jewelry and exceptional service, hand to hand, since 1888. Beckman Jewelers, downtown Ottawa.
44 days until the start of high school football.
Wow.
August the 28th. The 3rd annual zsportslive.com Bowl.
It's 1-1. It's the rubber game of the match.
So close.
Yeah.
You're so close. The rubber match?
That's it.
It's where the rubber meets the road. We're not playing in Akron.
No?
No. But yeah, not that far away. A lot of these kids not that long ago were getting ready for high school football too. Especially the catcher, Isaac Fitzgerald. He had close to 2,000 all-purpose yards last year at St. Mary's.
Not too bad.
Rough Riders are going to be looking to replace him, and they're going to, if I remember right, the kid that they're replacing him with ran for 350 yards maybe. So that's a heck of a difference.
Yeah. It's going to have to make it up a bit.
Of course, his alma mater, playing his battery mate's alma mater in the last game of the season.
Toledo, number 9, Nick.
Later on this year in Ottawa Glandorf Bragg Croy.
Yes.
That'll be a good game. It's always a good game.
Good rivalry between those two.
Those two trying to figure out what to do to Nick Lankard. I bet that wasn't the plan.
Nope. This one scoots through for ball 1.
That one didn't come close for ball 1. Hit off the dirt to the right. It was in the complete other batter's box. Croy's next pitch fouled off to even the count.
You happen to be tuning us in here at the park or on your way over. Some great food here. Come over, check it out. Support Fighting 63rd. Got hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, popcorn, but they don't have croutons.
No, that's that can only happen if Frank Thomas is around to feed them to you.
I just kind of threw that one to you.
That's what happened last night. Pitch fouled off, so it'll stay 2-2. Yeah.
Ben Rose Body Shop. They don't have croutons either, but if that hits your car out there, they could fix that for you.
Hopefully you're listening, because then you'll know. Yeah, Frank Thomas is a big fan of Montgomery Inn, and he requested that I eat one of his croutons out of his salad and tell me it was or was not the best crouton you've ever had. It's pretty good. Croy fields the ball easily and throws out the runner. And Lankard at first. So the first out of the inning. Yeah.
Center fielder Ryan Mobius.
Yeah, this will bring up the center fielder Ryan Mobius, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
One of 2 fielders' choice eyes. Oh, look at that.
Choice eyes.
The first pitch to both hitters for Toledo in this inning skipped off the dirt. 1-0 now from Croy with one out. Whew. Second one didn't miss. Fastball right down the middle.
1 ball, 1 strike.
In the bottom of the 4th inning here as Ottawa, the visitors in the district tournament.
I think we're mentioning about the franchise 4, Tom Brenneman, doing the call for that as the ground ball over to third and on to first base for out number 2.
Good pickup by Deitering.
Good job he did with that. Future
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, following in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with the fact that Joe Buck announced a lot of the in-park stuff last night, but it's his job.
I don't have a problem with that.
Pitch hit
And
into left.
the first hit for either team.
Didn't come till the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, Juz Neary reaches. And this will bring up the designated hitter, Joe Dandino.
Struck him out on 4 pitches the last time he was up.
The designated
2 of
hitter,
those, he swung out of his
Joe
shoes.
Gambino.
Dandino, though, will get a chance.
He was definitely trying to knock it to Miller City, maybe.
He thought about bunting that. Miller City, which I believe, as of last night, was still alive in the Acme tournament.
Yes, them and Kalida.
And this one, oh, that dropped fair. Good shot by Dandino, put it right down the line. Now runners at first and second, consecutive hits with 2 outs.
Brings up Nate Grady for the second time. He flew out to the right fielder. His first time up in the
Very
second
big for
inning.
a catcher.
Yeah.
Seems like that's the thing now. Big catchers. So runners at first and second with 2 outs and a 2-0 lead for Toledo in the 4th. And a strike to Grady.
2-0 the score here in the bottom of inning number 4 in favor of Toledo. That one down in the dirt.
Good stop by Fitzgerald to pick it up off the shoe. Count at 1-1. Runners getting a lead. Croy takes a look at second.
And that one low.
There seems to be some argument about that, but Fitzgerald did a heck of a job framing it. Still didn't get the call. 2-1 now. As they go upstairs, and what was 1-1 is ballooned all the way to 3-1.
Runners will be leading off. One on the move. And now they'll be on the move.
3 straight balls. Bases loaded.
Back to the top of the batting order. To Lonazak.
Lonazak.
He has reached both times, once on an error and once on a walk.
It's good on base percentage. Looking to improve his team's 2-0 lead. Hits one foul down the right field line.
That'll curve and roll over toward the swimming pool. Foul ball brought to you by the Benrose Body Shop in Cairo.
Runners with good-sized leads off every base. And a ball high to even the count at 1-1.
3 o'clock in the morning when I got home.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, though.
Another pitch fouled off. Stays 1-2. Benro Collision Center foul ball. 104 South Perrysburg Road in Cairo. 419-641-2231.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch. Ground ball to second. Throw to first, and that'll do it for inning number 4.
Playing with fire in that inning.
Yeah, no doubt. No runs on 2 hits and 3 runners left on base. We head to the 5th. The Fighting 63rd still trailing Toledo 2-0 on zsportslive.com.
Ben Rose Body Shop on State Route 65 in Cairo is now Ben Rose Collision Center. New name, same great service. In business for over 20 years, Ben Rose is family owned and operated. We provide free computerized estimates which can be sent directly to your insurance company. We repair all makes and models, and we cost less than the other guys. Our customers are really important to us, and our friendly staff makes certain you are over 100% satisfied. If you've been in a rollover, fender bender, or even just need a paint job, see the experts at Ben Rose Collision Center on State Route 65 in Cairo, 419-641-2231.
To the 5th inning. Dyring, Stolle, and Jones due up for the Fighting 63rd. Mentioning some of the stuff that happened at the All-Star Fan Fest. Not just a Reds Fan Fest, baseball stars from all eras. Louis Tiant was there. Bert Campaneris was there. So, talking about just some other, players from, other teams.
Tiant was on one of the franchise forward teams, too.
From Boston, maybe?
Could be.
I get there for my first shift on Sunday morning, and Bert Campaneris is signing autographs. Now, mind you, at Reds Fest, they have big board up that this person will be there this time, this person, and, give you a schedule right there where the people are signing. A couple of the other people that were there that were volunteers because they had the red volunteer shirt and the lanyard. I asked the lady if Marty was going to be there signing. She looks at me and says, Marty who? Now, mind you, these are people from Cincinnati. I just...
Maybe they're from Kentucky.
Turned and walked away.
From the other side of the river. Well,
that made me so sad.
Dietering, good question.
Marty Briscoe, I don't know. Dietering struck out his first time up.
A good power part of the lineup up right now.
I can't wait to see Marty again and tell him that story.
Dietering fouls off first pitch he sees. Now we were talking about Post 63 being shorthanded today. Miller City's Acme team playing right now with Jackson Lammers and a couple of the other players as Dietering slaps this one straight back and foul two.
Now that one hit right off of the bricks like the first one did.
Miller City's Acme team is leading Archbold 6-1 in the top of the 5th.
That's in the district?
I believe.
Are they
at
the
regionals?
Are they at the regionals yet?
Dietering is gone on strikes.
Second time that's happened.
Second time he was disgusted by it.
Third baseman Brad
And
Stolle.
did you get both of them looking?
No, one looking, one swinging.
Well, you had the same. It was the same pitch too. It was right on the outside corner.
That's 5 of them now for the Toledo squad, and this will bring up Stolle, who grounded out to second base his first time up.
Tristan Fonts is a nice pitcher.
He's gotten into a groove for sure.
Stolle has the camo sleeve on the right arm, and he fouls one straight back. In Ottawa, in red, blue numbers. Oh, they're black. They look blue from the batter's box. Trimmed in white. Ball and a strike now to Stolle.
Can't wait for basketball season. It'll be interesting to see if Macomb has the same kind of uniforms for football as they did for basketball. If they do, that went outside for a strike. As he swings at that one, I feel sorry for Rudy, who is doing the PA for Macomb and trying to figure all that out during football season. We'll have a couple of their games on zsportslive.com as this one fouls off into the grass area down the first baseline.
Stolle on the previous play, the previous pitch, they called it a strike on the call, and there was a question about whether if he just kind of dropped the bat off his hands, and it went towards the ball, whether it was on the pitch or if it was on his swing. But he's behind 1-2.
And it'll stay that way as he fouls this one straight
almost
back.
got that one off the hands.
Brought to you by Ben Rose Collision Center.
A lot of free pub for them tonight.
They have Four Seasons Car Wash also. They run those. You can wash your dog.
Today's like the first day it's been nice enough to do that. Ball hit out to shortstop. And no problems making the throw. As Borst, again, he's made a couple of good plays in a row. That one he had to come in to make the play and on the scoop. The other one was the one that he jumped up in the air and took the hit away.
Brings up Jones. He struck out in his only at bat back in the third.
Dockery waits on deck.
He's got his bat wrapped at the end of his bat wrapped in a towel. Some sort of contraption, I imagine, kind of like the old donuts that they used to have.
They still have those. Just don't put them near Ariana Grande.
Yeah, she might lick it.
Pitches high for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Demi Lovato will clean up after that.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, Jones turned inside, let that one go for a ball.
That was just a big debacle. I didn't even hear anything about the concert.
I don't even remember there being a concert.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a concert at Paul Brown Stadium.
Oh, well.
Yep, 2-1 the count.
Jones tried that twice now. Once he took it for a ball, once he took it for a strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on and 2 out here in the 5th.
Curious to know what the scouting report on Fonts is, because it seems like, as Jones whiffs it one up high, that everybody's looking for a certain pitch, but he's not throwing it.
That's strikeout number 6 on the evening for the post 553 pitcher. And Tristan Fonts will head to the bottom of the 5th with Toledo up 2-0 on zsportslive.com.
Four Seasons Express Car Wash, now open on Easttown Road, is the solution for your dirty car and now your dirty dog. Four Seasons Express Car Wash is offering free vacuums that suck with the purchase of any car wash. Four Seasons Express Car Wash conveniently offers $16 grill-size propane refills, where you buy 3, get the 4th free. For a spotless vehicle and unlimited car wash packages, deals on propane, free vacuums, and do-it-yourself pet washes, stop by 980 Easttown Road, just south of Allentown Road.
I was singing "I Got You, Babe." But
yeah, that'll teach me to have some popcorn during commercials.
I was about to sing it, but then you turn the microphone back on. Bottom of the 5th inning here as Toledo comes to bat. Down 75 and around here to Ottawa, as they are looking to come back here tomorrow night. If they win, they would play here at 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Wouldn't it be up 75, not down 75?
Over on 75?
And across and
I don't know.
A twisty.
Well, it's south of Toledo.
Jay Denman.
I don't know.
Have you got to visit the roundabout yet?
Yes, I did today. Ball put in play to Davis at second. He lofts one over to first, and Dietering helps him put out the first out of the inning.
Thought it was funny that they had a story about that.
It's not as big of a deal as people made it out to be. It was pretty easy, actually. You just have to have driving common sense. Which we did not see in Cincinnati last night.
No.
Colin Kocher is the batter.
There's a clover leaf down in Atlanta that people seem to have a problem with.
That's because it's Atlanta.
Kocher reached on an error and scored in the first and struck out in the third.
Croy is one of those pitchers who, as he's here in the 5th, throws a lot the same, no matter up 10-0, down 10-0, 2-0, no matter what the score is. He's doesn't really change, I think, a lot of how his approach is as he misses with the ball to even the count at 1-1. And I think that's why he's been so successful through the years at OG.
Well, he has a no-hitter to his credit.
He almost had a couple more, too.
Yeah.
Big swing and a miss. Not as big as the first time, but Kocher is behind at 1-2.
And the 2 runs that he's given up tonight are unearned.
There's a reason why he's going to be a future Falcon at Bowling Green State University. Ball fouled off towards the restrooms. Monroe Collision Center foul ball. Bruce is probably pretty happy right now.
Yes.
He'd be happier if Ottawa can string together a couple of runs when we get to the top of the 6th.
On the outside for a ball.
And talking about Croy, fastball in the mid-80s. Got a curve and a change, if I remember right, too.
And another Benrose Collision Center foul ball.
Good product, and also I think could be really good for Bowling Green because their staff, they've had a problem with the past couple of years about guys not being able to go real long in terms of, but he's definitely a kid who can eat a lot of innings. And he's behind the count at 3-2. Forget about it. Hang the backwards K up because he got Kocher looking for something that wasn't there.
Got Kocher the second time, and that is the second backwards K, the 4th overall.
Shortstop, Colin Borst.
Borst now steps up, the right-hander. The shortstop with the stirrup socks has made a couple of big plays defensively to keep this game at 2-0 and keep Ottawa off the base paths.
You know, you're talking about the throwback sort of look. A throwback jersey that I like to see come back that I think would be really, I guess, funny is the Astros 70s jerseys, those rainbowy, whatever they were.
Ball down to Davis at second. He booted it. Still able to recover, stay with the play, and make it. We'll go to the 6th. Ottawa coming to bat down 2-0 here on zsportslive.com.
Hey, you, yeah, you. Don't let this summer be another string of nothing but video games and potato chips. How about spending the day with some giraffes, zebra, bison, camels, and more? You can even feed them if you dare. Enjoy a camel ride, browse the gift shop, grab a bite to eat at the snack bar, or cheer on your favorite porker at the Pork Chop Downs Raceway. Only 17 miles from Cedar Point, African Safari Wildlife Park makes a great stop for all ages. African Safari Wildlife Park, a world away in your own backyard.
We've been talking all night long about the All-Star game last night in Cincinnati, a 6-3 win for the American League, or a 6-2 win rather, because this time it counts. The All-Star game the next 3 years will take place in National League cities. San Diego, California next year, the year after in Miami, Florida for the first time at the Marlins' new park, which is a color monstrosity, and the year after in Washington, D.C. at the Nationals' beautiful park. Of the 30 Major League Baseball cities, only one has not hosted an All-Star game and is not on the books to do so. What is that city? Email us at zsportslive@yahoo.com, and Dave will tell you all about what you can win.
You'll get a family car pass to the African Safari theme park, over $120 value, and that'll get you in to see all the newest attractions too. Including you get to feed kangaroos, and you also get to have the up-close experience with the giraffes, where you don't have to be in your car to feed them. They have another area with the giraffes where you can actually pet the giraffes, and if you want to be like Anna Bellman, you can kiss one.
9-1-2 for Ottawa here in the 6th. Dockery, Becker, and Davis.
Anna Bellman has a picture on her Facebook page of her kissing a giraffe. And I'm not talking about Z the giraffe either. I'm talking about one of Z's cousins.
Again, where is the only city of the 30 current Major League Baseball cities to not ever have hosted an All-Star game?
I would have guessed Montreal.
Not counting Miami, Florida, which is getting it in 2 years. First pitch to Dockery is a strike. zsportslive@yahoo.com. Now here is the second pitch. And a strike and a ball. I thought was interesting, too. We were looking over the All-Star game history about, where the 2 highest attended All-Star games are all time?
Cleveland would be one.
Cleveland is both. Over 65,000 both times.
And that's when they were in
at the old stadium.
The old stadium, when that one held like 75 or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, it held a lot. Now the pitch by Dockery out to short, and this has been a problem throughout the game, and it will continue to be so for Ottawa as Borst makes another fine play defensively. Throws out the speedy Dockery.
Some continental-like plays at shortstop.
Well, I think the nice thing about him, too, Hillsdale, so I imagine that he is junior going into his senior year. He definitely has a good range for a shortstop, and a tall shortstop at that. He's like 6'3".
That helped him on that shot that he had to jump up for off of Fitzgerald. But Tristan Becker back to the top of the order for the Fighting 63rd.
And the Rough Rider takes another strike. He's not had a fruitful day so far at the plate, as he's been frustrated the last 2 times. Curveball didn't miss by much. It's a ball, now 2-1. But the All-Star game last night in Cincinnati came within 1,000 people of being the highest all-time attended event in Great American Baseball Park history.
Now they could extend that out to Fountain Square, because
and it was more of a sellout too, because it was a couple thousand over what that park is supposed to hold.
Yeah, Fire Marshal could have been there.
Yeah, he was looking the other way. 2-2 pitch. Hit back up. That one won't give Toledo a chance to get it, and that's the first hit for Ottawa as Becker reaches base. And he's another one, like Dockery, that he's got good speed, and he's a very good, smart base runner. So maybe this is the inning that Ottawa starts to string something together.
Jared Davis try to keep it going.
So the former Bath Wildcat. Room on the right side because they're going to have to play to try and keep Becker over there. And he a little discombobulated as he dives back to first. Yeah. I don't think he was expecting them to throw on the first pitch. And they'll throw again. Tell you what, Fonces has a quick pickoff move because it almost looks like he doesn't come all the way across. See what they do this time.
Definitely has some good peripheral vision looking over there.
Or he's got eyes in the back of his head.
And that too.
The Hawks are Toledo Adams Township Post 553. There goes Becker. Throw down. Wow.
And he's out from here to there.
And there to here as well. So the first base runner for Ottawa is now toast. And
both teams have a runner to get thrown out caught stealing.
So Davis steps back in. 2 balls and no strikes. And 2 outs. Lets that one go in the dirt. Stared back at the umpire, but I had no doubt where that one had skipped off of. 3-0 pitch now. Turns him inside and lets him walk to first. A couple of walks have been drawn now by Ottawa. This one gives them another base runner. And think about if Becker had been about maybe either he hadn't taken off or been about 6 steps in front of where he was, it would be runners with on first and second with 1. But as it is, it's runners on first with 2.
And Brad Croy, who is grounded out to second both of the times he has been up.
And he's got the kind of stroke with a bat as he takes ball 1 high and outside that he can drive in that run from first in a hurry. Davis now takes a short lead, kind of waddled off of first with the lead that he took. And as the pitch misses down low, Nate Grady will go out and have a conversation with Tristan Fonce.
I think maybe Fonce, after giving up the hit, maybe got out of his rhythm a little bit, And this catcher's scoring out there just to give him a chance to get his breath and probably just remind him, hey, just throw the ball.
Interestingly, about Nate Grady, one of 3 players headed to play at Ohio State University. Their teammate, Preston Dew, is headed to play at U of M. Whatever he said, it worked. He drew the strike on 2-0. And Croy doesn't agree. I think his point is, why is it when I throw that pitch that it's called a ball?
His teammates going to University of Montana?
I don't think that's the same one. Croy hits it down to third in the hole, and it'll go off of the shortstop.
I think you give him a base hit for that.
Yes, it was ruled a hit by the more official than I.
Number 10, Adam.
Scorekeeper. And now coaches will go out and have a conversation with Tristan Fonts. As 2 outs, runners on first and second. Adam Purdy comes up. He's been in this situation a lot this year. 2 runners on and 2 runners out, being a middle of the lineup guy.
Yeah. And the number 4 hitter in Purdy, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out, going to be back in the batter's box when this meeting at the mound comes to a conclusion, as it does right now.
I know that wasn't so much a location conversation about with Purdy. He's a kid who, if you get something on the upper half, he's going to belt that into the outfield. But really, with being a left-hander, I think anything away from him and low, he has trouble reaching. So I don't know that maybe that's not part of the conversation. This might be last inning for Fonts. There's a left-hander in the bullpen warming up away from where we are, as he's throwing with Joe Dandino, the designated hitter. 2 runners on and 2 outs in the 6th. This one hit by Purdy. Through the hole, no, but a diving stop, not able to come down with it. Here comes the play to the plate. Safe. Ottawa gets one on. Purdy gets the RBI.
Nice job by Davis and heads-up play. And he goes sliding head first into home. So runners at first and second, and it's 2-1.
And immediately, high fives from the teammates. And a big situation here again. I just talked about Purdy coming through with 2 outs and 2 on. And he does there. He hit that one hard. And you can make a case if you wanted to about Lonixak not being able to get to that, but he did a heck of a job to stop it. Just not able to get up and get to first in time. Again, runners on first and second with 2 outs for Fitzgerald. He turns inside on a ball.
Fitzgerald 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out.
He was 0 for 2 last time we were here before he slapped one for 2 RBI into center. Be huge here. Again, the winner comes back tomorrow night. A ball in the dirt, but a good stop by Nate Grady to keep it in front of him.
Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock.
As the district tournament continues, taking on Napoleon. The loser goes to Findlay on Friday, and they will take on the loser of Napoleon versus whoever wins here. So a winner and a loser essentially meet on Friday.
Right.
And then obviously in the double elimination format, the loser of that game would see their tournament season end.
Right. And season, most likely.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes some teams try and get some of those regular season games in. 2-1 count with 2 outs here in the 6th. A 2-1 Toledo lead. Fitzgerald hits one off the end of the bat to right field. Coming in to make the play and end the inning is Kocher. And a couple of runs come across, or a couple of hits come across, rather, and 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Toledo holding a 2-1 lead. This is esportslive.com.
Hope you're ready for casting crowns. Skillet. King and Country. Plus 72 rides and 17 world-class coasters. Point Fest is back at Cedar Point. Saturday, September 19th with Casting Crowns, Skillet, and For King and Country. Also featuring Lovin' the Outcome and speaker Nick Hall. Spend the day on the rides, including Rougarou, all new for 2015 and Cedar Point's first floorless coaster. And the screams continue into the night with some of your favorite Christian artists. Save $10 when you buy super early bird tickets now through July 31st at pointfestival.com. And your ticket to Point Fest includes admission to the festival and Cedar Point. Saturday, September 19th, Point Fest is back at Cedar Point. Details at pointfestival.com. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
Bottom of the 6th inning. More interestingly now, though, 2-1 for Toledo as they come back up to bat.
They'll have Lankert, Mobius, and Neary come to the plate to try to get that run and some more back.
And it'll be the 6th inning of work for the right-hander and Brad Croy.
Again, our trivia question for a family car pass to the African Safari theme park.
29 out of 30 cities in Major League Baseball have hosted the All-Star Game. One city has not. What is that city? Email us esportslive@yahoo.com and win some zoo tickets. Bunt down the third base line. Fielded in time by Croy, and he sends it over to his former high school teammate for the out.
It's the second time a 1-3.
Well, it's always good when you can just get one where you just got to make one quick play off the mound. And now Mobius steps in. Again, remember he had that fantastic play in center field for Toledo.
He reached on a fielder's choice in the first, which produced a run.
Croy working quickly, a ball and a strike. And a strike. Mighty swing.
Maybe they're replaying the home run derby tonight. Everyone wants to get out of here so they can go home and watch it.
Nobody else knows. That's on demand.
Yeah.
What? Mobius even acted. He thought it was going to be a strike, and I think the official kind of faked everybody out. I thought it was a strike.
1-2.
There's the pitch. Fouled off. And
that'll be down the third base line. A Benrose Collision Center foul ball.
And you can always tell whenever there's one of those big foul balls like that, Croy takes a second to recompose himself. 2-2. This one hit down to third off the chest of Stolle, and that's going to be his second error of the game. He had it, but then he dropped it when he reached up to try and make the transfer. And Mobius is safe at first, and you know that goes back about 60 seconds.
Yeah.
He reaches, and you're going to get him reaching on an error, but it's different as this ball hit to center. A big chance for Mobius. He's got speed for days as he rounds third and takes a look. The double will move him to third base.
Second hit of the game for Neary. First extra base hit for either team.
Yeah, not that many hits in this 2-1 game here in the bottom of the 6th. And there goes the conversation with Croy.
Yeah, Ottawa, they have 3 hits.
And it's unfortunate, too, because now you never know. You can't draw the dots in terms of what would have happened. But if Mobius had struck out, obviously there's not a runner at third.
Right.
But you don't know what the hitter behind him would have done. But that's an interesting play where when you think about how did this game come about, you think, okay, what if that pitch, which I thought from here was the exact same spot the previous strike was.
Yeah, those always seem to come back and bite you when a call doesn't go your way, and then the very next pitch, somebody hits one to the river or something.
Well, I say baseball is a funny game. Not funny, ha-ha.
3 hits for each team, however, Toledo with the 2 in the run column on the scoreboard, and Ottawa with the 1.
Infield comes in, perfect bunt, placed at home, not in time, and the run will score. So Mobius, he gets 2 calls in his time on the bases. And you can see the frustration from Croy.
The squeeze works. And now you have to have a short memory if you're the Fighting 63rd and just forget that one. Let's get the next batter and not let this thing snowball into something bad.
And if you have a longer memory like we do, you remember that the last time that Mobius was up, he was at third, and they actually faked that play because the batter who was up came around to bunt and then pulled back and then ended up, I think he struck out if memory serves, but runners at the corners now. Runner goes to second. Fitzgerald on the short. No, he let it go through. I'll tell you what, when that throw went down, it was a little bit lackadaisical. I thought maybe it was going to get cut off.
Right, and it made the play close. So
imagine if I'd have been on the line.
Yeah.
So runners now at second and third with 1 out. And this one is foul. Not without trying, though, from Dietering.
Definitely a nice effort by Dietering. He ended up sprawled out over first base.
And it's a good thing that he didn't get to it because that probably would have scored that run regardless of him getting that out. And ball put in play through the hole. And another run will score. It's now a 4-1 margin for Toledo with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
Back to the top of the batting order.
And again, Croy will get a visit. No presents of any kind will be exchanged. I think he is going to go play another position, and that position will be in the middle infield. He will likely go to shortstop as
he's headed to the dugout. Maybe get another glove.
I think he's going to get another glove. I think Elijah Jones is going to come in to pitch now. So Jones will pitch. Croy will go to short, and Davis will move from short to second base. The 3 changes for the Fighting 63rd.
4-1 the score on this pretty nice day. First nice one we've had in a while.
75 degrees and beautiful.
We'll take a break, come back on zsportslive.com.
Teamwork. It's not just a term reserved for the football field or the basketball court. At Dominion, we believe that teamwork is so important to our success, we count it as one of our core values. Partnering with our communities to make them a better place to live, work, and play. We are proud to serve our customers in Northwest Ohio. We are Dominion. For more information on our company, please visit our website at dom.com. Dominion, we're proud to be part of high school sports and proud to be part of our community.
Are you ready for an adventure? Experience the Midwest's only drive-through safari park located in Port Clinton, Ohio. Go to www.africansafariwildlifepark.com for more information.
Brad Croy gives up 4 hits in 5 1/3 inning. His door is not closed yet because he has runners on first and third base with 1 out. Elijah Jones, the Columbus Grove Bulldog right-hander, fires his first pitch high. Jones had an ERA around 2 this year. At one point, it was sub 150 for most of the season, but gave up a couple of hits in his a couple of runs in his last 2 starts in the tournament, and it ended up, I think he had around 210 if I remember right. He will be on here, and his first batter will put a ball into the outfield that will score a run and give Toledo another spot on the scoreboard. So the first runner that Jones would be responsible for is now on first base.
Jay Denman.
As Denman steps up here in a 5-1 game. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Denman could not catch up with that one. Toledo St. Francis High School.
So Grady still belongs to Croy. He's out at second.
Running bunt attempt is fouled off. Monroe Collision Center foul ball. And Jones, tell you what, none of these pitchers for Ottawa waste their time on the mound.
Getting down to business. It's 5-1.
So the defensive alignment for the Fighting 63rd, you would have Stolle at third, Croy at short, Davis at second, Dietering at first, Dockery in left, Becker in center, and Purdy in right field. We've reached the point in the season where I can do that completely off the top of my head. And amazingly, we only got to be here 6 times this year. So that's even worse. Pitch fouled off again.
Foul ball brought to you by Ben Rose Collision Center and Caro.
Had 3 games, a week ago that was supposed to be here. Supposed to have that doubleheader on that Sunday against Sydney, but that didn't work out. Mother Nature, again, still with her other plans.
Another foul ball, and that one comes pretty close to that person over there in that.
Watch out!
Whatever color that car is. We're just going to have to get Ben Rose Collision Center on the phone.
Get them to match that paint color.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. 3 runs have come across in the inning. And that hit hard. Apparently the baseball does not respect the 3 white lines behind behind the
that's for the turtle races at the 7th inning stretch.
It does not respect the white lines. 2-2 is the count. 1 out in the 6th. The runner at second again belongs to Croy. This one hit right back to Jones. He'll take care of that runner and get Croy officially off the hook. So Croy will give up 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits. And he's now playing shortstop. He did have a handful of strikeouts, though, as he dropped a curveball and a fastball rather nicely. Colin Kocher, headed to ODU, is the batter. He takes the first pitch, a high fastball.
Of those 5 runs, only 2 of those are earned.
Again, the first inning, the 2 runs that came across, 2 errors and 2 fielders' choices. Out to second to Davis. He'll make the play at first to Dietering, and that will end the inning. We now go to the 7th inning. The top of the inning. Ottawa finds themselves down 5-1. This is Legion District Baseball on zsportslive.com.
If you're planning a graduation party, wedding reception, or just a gathering of friends, the number to call is 419-286-2873 for MTC Tents, Tables, and Chairs. MTC specializes in tents for any event. They can provide round and banquet tables and even have white chairs for weddings. MTC Tents, Tables, and Chairs now accepts credit card payments. No party is too big or too small, and delivery is available to a party. Call 419-286-2873.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Carpet Mart, 1316 East Main Street in Ottawa, for a great selection of carpet and vinyl flooring. Carpet Mart at 1316 East Main Street in Ottawa, 419-523-9500. Shop smart, shop Carpet Mart.
You can like us on Facebook, browse our site on the web, but you need to visit Beckman Jewelers downtown Ottawa. Experience the joy of trying on a new watch. Light up your finger with a diamond ring. Feel the excitement of finding that special gift. Share your thoughts with Beckman's friendly staff. 5 generations of Beckman Jewelers have been touching hearts with extraordinary jewelry and exceptional service, hand to hand, since 1888. Beckman Jewelers, downtown Ottawa.
Top of the 7th inning here. That just seems weird. Oh, all right. Well, I guess I didn't realize that the Acme tournament. You get a bye into the state finals if you are the host of a tournament. That is what Coldwater did today. Defiance gets a pair of runs. They lead Edgerton 2-0 after 2 frames. Salina beats Minster to get into the Acme tournament. Miller City, last I saw, was up 6-1 in the 5th. So other games going on involving a lot of area young men. Actually, Miller City wins 6-4 against Archbold, who loaded the bases in the 6th and the 7th. And still, Miller City came away with a 6-4 win. They will get the Toledo Wildcats in the Acme Regional Finals with a chance to go to state. So for the Fighting 63rd this inning, Ben Deitering will lead off. He has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Brad Stolley and Elijah Jones, who started out at second, is now the pitcher for the Fighting 63rd. The 3 hitters this inning that the new pitcher in Preston Dew will face. Preston Dew, he was the one that I was talking about earlier, headed to the University of Michigan. He is a left-hander with a fastball that he's run in on Deitering. Now 1-1 is the count. Missed with the curveball. 2-1 now with a 5-1 lead. And Deitering puts one right at the second baseman in Wanakzak, who has had a nice game. That's his 5th putout. And Brad Stolley will face the future Wolverine. Stolley has grounded out twice, once to second and once to short. Takes a strike here.
Quite a shot that Deitering put out there.
Yeah, right at Luxiniak. Stolley turned the shoulders, able to draw the ball call. 1-1 is the count, 1 out in the 7th. Here's the pitch from Dew. Tailing out to right field, and almost able to make a great diving stop is Colin Coucher. But it drops foul, just harmlessly for strike 2.
So a nice pitching performance by Fonts.
I figured I'd let you tail that up.
Okay.
You've got the book.
Just giving up 1 run.
Dew takes a look in. Southpaw comes set. Curveball off the end of the bat for Stolley, and he was in time. The throw pulled the first baseman off the bag. I believe that's got to go as a hit, though, because I think Stolley was going to beat that anyways.
The wet grass kind of helped that one out a little bit.
So a runner on for Ottawa. They have not had a ton of those today, as I believe it was at just hit number 5.
It is.
They'll bring up Elijah Jones.
He has struck out twice.
Both of the swinging variety. Takes the first pitch ball. Dockery again with the towels on the end of the bat that he's swinging. So I didn't realize he's got a underside of his forearm from his wrist to his elbow is completely tattooed.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
In the dirt for Jones, now ahead 2-0. As it changes the perspective here for the runners for Ottawa. In terms of the pitcher, because Fonts was right-handed, so he always had his back to the runner at first, but now with Dews in, he's looking right at him. Not that Stolley's going to get a huge lead anyways. And he doesn't have to right now because location on this exchange has not been the greatest, and it's 3-1. Jones?
I think he knew that.
He's looked at a couple of strikes now, and it's usually the second strike in each at bat. But 3-1, I can't really fault him all that much. Outfield playing normal depth in front of him, and he's down swinging for the third time.
So
very
two down
aggressive
inning.
hitter. So Dockery, the left-hander, he's got the white bat with the orange on the top and the bottom.
Left fielder, Terry Dockery.
TD3 is what his teammates were calling him in high school, which would make sense if you knew that his name was Terry Dockery III. Second team All-State selection twice, actually.
Not too shabby.
He smiled as he takes the curveball for a strike. For strike one, again, the seventh inning. It is the top of the seventh inning. Curveball misses outside this time as Ottawa lost the coin flip. Here is the district tournament host, or one half of this district tournament host. The other parts of this will be played at Flag City Field in Findlay, but except for tonight. Tonight was moved to Napoleon.
Right.
But Friday, the loser of this game will play possibly the team they're playing tonight.
And that would be a winner go home.
The other part of that is it's a strike for 2-2, is that the winner of this game takes on Napoleon back here tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Right.
Here's the pitch now from Preston Dew. Slapped down to the left, and a shortstop again.
He has just played a stellar
with the play, and yeah, he's pretty good at baseball. Heading to the bottom of the seventh, 5-1 Toledo here on zsportslive.com.
A visit to African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio is bound to bring out the kid in all of us. After all, it's not just your ordinary trip to the zoo. It's a jungle adventure. You'll feel like you're leading the expedition as you ride through the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals if you dare, and capture the moment on film for your unbelieving friends. Better yet, bring them along. See rare and exotic animals from around the world, including the world's largest antelope, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on earth, the African warthog. Enjoy a camel or pony ride, or browse through the Simba Lodge gift shop with items from around the globe. Sit in on live educational shows or cheer on your favorite porker in Pork Chop Downs. There's so much to see and do at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the signs. Just 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
That would be interesting.
Bottom of the seventh inning here on zsportslive.com. The seventh inning stretch is now officially come and gone. Second inning of work for Elijah Jones, who comes on to replace his shortstop in Brad Croy. Croy charged with all 5 of the runs as he gave up a handful of hits, struck out a handful, and kind of got the short end of the stick in the first inning.
Did they change the seventh inning stretch last night?
Yes, they had a country singer sing America the Beautiful.
Oh, okay. They didn't do like the Red
Josh
Team
Turner.
or whatever it was.
No, Josh Turner was the name of the young man who, with a baritone voice. It was ridiculous. I've never heard that song sound so long. And Colin Borst, who's made some nice plays today now, the hitter for Toledo. 1-1 is his count in the first, presumably the first full inning for Elijah Jones.
Well, Sunday we'll get to hear the not only the Take Me Out to the Ball game as we're going to the Falls game, but also God Bless America that they do every Sunday.
Maybe that's what it was. Pitch high, 2-2 now. The sun has changed dramatically from the beginning of the game as it begins to set here in Putnam County. And it always changes where I think the outfielders sort of get a little bit more of the difference. Dockery's got the sunglasses in left, but he's got them flipped up. It changes your eyesight. Fitzgerald now into a little bit more of the darkness.
Fouled over behind the dugout. Foul ball brought to you by the Ben Rose Collision Center. This is the second or third year for the Falls game with the trip with Jeff Swick and all the folks that signed up for that. Second year, okay.
Because last year they played the Mets.
And it rained. It's supposed to rain Sunday.
Playing the Indians.
Yep.
I can't imagine what I'll be wearing Sunday.
I'll wear my red stuff.
I don't actually know. Pitch high, and there's a walk. So a runner on first, no outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And again, I always love the different colored helmets from every team because you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, the high school stuff, and you've got the red helmet with the blue jerseys. Running bunt. Now, I'd tell you what, that was on the back shoulder. That's an impressive bunt.
Yes.
Lankard, I think he's heading to Ohio State for a reason. Moves the runner to second. And he really did. He waited back on the pitch from Jones because he was standing in the back of the box anyways. But instead of like the traditional bunt where you put the bat out in front, he had it on the back shoulder and just kind of tipped it on the way by. First pitch to Mobius is saved with a backhand by Fitzgerald for a ball.
He motored it down to first base too, but Borst will head down to second base on that play. Something I heard the other day on the Dan Patrick Show, they were discussing about the when it's okay or not for a grown man to bring a glove to a ball game. Is that when it's fouled back and into the parking lot? Brought to you by Ben Rose Collision
Wait, there's
Center.
a time when that's not acceptable?
According to the Danettes, yes.
I don't know. I tell you what.
Like in your 20s, they were saying.
I took my wife to a Florence Freedom game on July 4th in Tennessee as a throw down to Fitzgerald. Skipped off the hitter's head, or the runner's head. But as he was sliding between the collision with he and Stolle, he wasn't able to do anything with it. And Stolle got a glove full of it. But we had one, we were sitting right behind home plate, and he had it popped up directly behind, and it wasn't so much that I was trying to catch it, but I was trying to keep it from hitting her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm right-handed, and my left hand's virtually useless as Mobius takes a strike to run the count to 3-2. It hit off my hand, left a bruise for 2 days. If I had had a glove, is the point of the story.
Right.
I would have saved her and the ball. Mobius out to right, and that'll bring in the game's 6th run. And Purdy even overran it, and he missed the cutoff to boot. Davis is standing about halfway out, and he looked at Purdy, kind of gave him the, hey, what happened there sign.
Right.
You zigged and zagged, and I missed both of them. Another hit for Toledo.
Jude Neary to the plate. He has a single and a double.
Kind of way out of sync right now, it seems, are the Fighting 63rd.
So on that question, so it's okay, like if I bring a glove on Sunday?
I mean, you're a grown
50.
man. There's nobody that's going to hit a ball on that party deck.
No.
So you're just going to be walking around with a ball or walking around with a glove.
And then the other thing was wearing jerseys. When is that no longer acceptable?
Where was this at?
And this was on the Dan Patrick Show.
I don't actually have a problem with that because you should always support your team.
Right.
Consecutive balls here from Jones.
Colin Cowherd has a problem with you wearing a jersey with your name on the back of it and somebody else's name.
That's a whole different thing.
Right.
Jones 2-1 pitch swung on and missed by Neary. But the thing is, you never played for that team.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Or maybe you did.
If you did, then that's cool, but...
Can Sean Casey go to a game and wear his own, wear number 21?
Neary's gone with a fastball from Jones. Second out.
Can Pete Rose, if he goes and purchases
Pete Rose
it.
is Pete Rose. He can wear whatever the heck he feels like.
I agree.
Dandino steps up now at a Central High School with 2 outs, a runner on first. And he's not had a particularly good day at the plate. He did get a hold of one, though, in his last at-bat.
I'm going to wear my FanFest volunteer shirt, or either my Reds Fest volunteer shirt, and bring my...
Throw down to first. Got him. What? You can't appeal that. He got him. No, wow. That is one heck of a heads-up play, though, by Fitzgerald. Because that runner at first was way off.
So are they asking to go to the replay?
You got to call downtown. Call a zoo.
Oh.
Pitch fouled off the end of the bat from Dandino.
As they look at those replays in my basement, soon to be in our new studio on Main Street. We have a big TV in there that will watch all the replays back.
Jones, a chance to get out of the inning with the 1 run of damage. Remember, that's the first run that he has been charged for. As the other 5, pitch fouled off, were all given to Brad Croy.
That one over in the grass, brought to you by Ben Rose Collision Center.
Big fan of these Toledo hats that they're wearing.
Yeah.
They're very nice. The Hawks logo. Black hats trimmed in white and red. Nice attempt at a frame job for strike 3.
6-1 here in the 7th in favor of post 553 from Toledo.
Pitch fouled off again. Napoleon waiting in the wings. Tomorrow night.
The River Bandits. That's a good name. I like that.
Yes. There's a minor league team. Is it Quad City? I want to say it's Quad Cities.
You know, they had a display of all of the minor league teams, and they had their major league team at the top and all the minor league teams, you know, down to the rookie league in their hats and all that other stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Pitch up in the air, and Davis will end the inning. Not before 1 run comes across. We go to the 8th, Fighting 63rd with some work to do, as they are now down 6-1 here on zsportslive.com.
You can like us on Facebook, browse our site on the web, but you need to visit Beckman Jewelers downtown Ottawa. Experience the joy of trying on a new watch. Light up your finger with a diamond ring. Feel the excitement of finding that special gift. Share your thoughts with Beckman's friendly staff. 5 generations of Beckman Jewelers have been touching hearts with extraordinary jewelry and exceptional service, hand to hand, since 1888. Beckman Jewelers, downtown Ottawa.
Don't forget, we've got a chance for you to win tickets to the African Safari. All you got to do is email zsportslive@yahoo.com and be the first to correctly tell us the only city of the 30 cities in Major League Baseball currently that has not hosted the Midsummer Classic.
And that does not include...
And that takes place after the 2018 season, because if your answer is Miami, you will be wrong.
Right.
Miami will host the All-Star Game in 2 years, thus nullifying Miami as an answer.
Right.
I should say of the scheduled All-Star games, all the way up to number 90 in 4 years. The next 3 have been announced: 87, 88, and 89. And San Diego, California at Petco Park, Marlins Park in Miami, Florida in 2 years, and then Nationals Park in, what would that be, 2018?
Right. In San Diego, the American League will be the home team, and in Washington, the American League will be the home team.
Stupid. So Major League Baseball has only twice broken that tradition of going AL, NL, AL, NL, of going every other one. They will break it again for the second time next year.
And Montreal has hosted one.
Actually, I'm sorry, they broke it this year.
Montreal has hosted one, and that was the...
Montreal's not a current city, though.
But I'm just saying that, you know...
True.
That was the one that Dave Parker, when he was with the Pirates, threw that monster of a throw in from the outfield to Gary Carter and got the runner out at the plate.
Second inning of work for Dew, and the first pitch he throws is a strike to the leadoff hitter in Tristan Becker. Becker, Davis, and Croy. 1, 2, and 3 for Ottawa in this inning. Pitch from the Wolverine. I think he's got some work to do on that curveball before he gets to Michigan. I've seen him throw that with about a 30% success rate so far.
Are you sure it's not? You said U of M. You sure it's not Montana that he's going to? I mean, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or Minnesota.
I'll go back if it's Minnesota. University of Michigan, Northview High School.
Manitoba.
So he just graduated. He just graduated from Northview High School.
Ground ball to the shortstop.
Who's there? The shortstop again.
And automatic again.
Tell you what, that kid is impressive. So Becker, it's not his best day.
You sure it's not Jackson Lammers out there? Dressed up as a player from Toledo.
No, Jackson Lammers is playing tonight.
Yeah.
He and his Acme teammates victorious 6-4 against Archbold in the regional semifinals of the Acme tournament.
So Davis, he reached on a walk and scored the only run for the Fighting 63rd. And he hits this one again to shortstop, and
Borst.
Another play, another out.
All right.
Shortstop.
He's had a nice day. Now here's Brad Croy, who again is on the hook for the loss currently.
Borst has 6 putouts, including that line drive that he climbed the ladder to get.
Borst, 18 years old, 6'1", 180 pounds. He's impressing a lot of colleges.
Where is he from?
Croy
he played at Sylvania Southview High School.
Yeah, he's very smooth.
Hillsdale.
Possibly.
I actually had it wrong. It'd be Hillsdale College.
Probably played hockey for him, too.
First team All-League, second team All-Areas as a shortstop as a sophomore. And then as a junior, here's a pitch from Dew to Croy. Curveball for a strike to put him ahead 1-2. First team All-League, first team All-Area, and leading his team to the D1 Regional Finals as a junior. Right on cue. Ooh! He short-hopped one, and that is we talk about him long enough.
Yeah.
He pulled Jude Neary off the base. And he throws the error.
If he would have made that throw and it would have been an out, that would have been 4 consecutive plays that he made for an out.
There's only one kid that we've seen do that this year. Jackson Lammers.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Jones has done it a handful of times, 3 times, as we've seen him strike out the side as a pitcher. So another life for Ottawa. This one chopped down by Purdy to first, and it's a foot race, and he got there. How many times have you ever seen 4 players all running towards the base?
Yeah.
It's almost like the shell game.
Right.
You're trying to remember which one of them has the baseball. It was Dew, and he has now given up an error and a hit. Well, I don't know. You score that as a fielder's choice. You give him a single.
Oh, that's true. No, you're right. You're right. It is a fielder's choice.
I didn't even think about that at first.
And that'll bring up Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, another good 2-out hitter.
Fitzgerald.
We talked about this earlier with Purdy, and right on cue, he drove in the only RBI for Ottawa. See what Dew can do. Didn't even realize how that came out.
Foul ball.
He is going to have a long foul ball.
Foul ball brought to you by Penrose Collision Center in Caro, right on State Route 65.
Pitch is a strike. So 2 now. Hillsdale College, by the way, are the Chargers that that young man is a part of. Pitch, throw down to second, and running behind and realizing you cannot get there from here quickly was Croy.
He threw it in the center field, but very quickly the center fielder rushing up to throw the ball right back in as Mobius keeps Croy from going anywhere.
Dew takes a look out at second on 1 and 2. Ball low to Fitzgerald.
The Toledo pitchers have been very concerned with the Fighting 63rd running tonight. A lot of throws over to first.
Again. And Fitzgerald's gone, hanging the K backwards. When we go to the bottom of the 8th, it's 6-1 in favor of Toledo here on zsportslive.com.
Four Seasons Express Car Wash, now open on Easttown Road, is the solution for your dirty car and now your dirty dog. Four Seasons Express Car Wash is offering free vacuums that suck with the purchase of any car wash. Four Seasons Express Car Wash conveniently offers $16 grill-size propane refills, where you buy 3, get the 4th free. For a spotless vehicle and unlimited car wash packages, deals on propane, free vacuums, and do-it-yourself pet washes, stop by 980 Easttown Road, just south of Allentown Road.
The 9 1-2 hitters coming up for Toledo. And Grady, Lonazek, and Denman.
Yeah, Lonazek's had himself a pretty good game. He had a couple of those big hits earlier on, but he's made a lot of the middle infield has made a lot of putouts today.
He has reached 3 of the 4 times he's been up and has an RBI and has scored a run.
Again, this game actually, the 2 runs for the longest time that came up for Toledo took place in the first inning. There were no hits, 2 errors, 1 from each corner of the diamond for the Fighting 63rd, and also those 2 fielders' choice. So Brad Croy now has been tagged with 5 runs. Elijah Jones actually gave up his last 2 runs. But Jones has given up the 1 run for himself since he's come in the last 2 2/3 innings. And it is a 6-1 margin that, well, the Fighting 63rd are only going to get 1 more chance to get out of.
Yep.
Again, they're the visitors here today. Nate Grady is the batter for Toledo.
Nate Grady.
See what Nate will do. Again, headed to Ohio State to play baseball. First pitch he sees is high and counts as a strike. I thought it was comparatively. Wearing the white and orange helmet, almost like one of those white orange creams you get.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, the cream swirl.
Pitch is up around the shoulders.
Up around virtually the same spot.
Yeah.
This time it's called a ball. Grady 6'2", 175. Oh, he thought that's the second time that's happened to a player in this game where he thought if he turned away from the ball that there's no way that it would get called a strike. Both of those young men were wrong.
2-2.
Grady out to center.
That's his second hit of the game.
He is on base with no outs. I think it's the 3rd time that Toledo has had the leadoff hitter on. Grady plays high school ball at Sylvania Southview. So also familiar with Colin Burst.
You are correct. The third time it's happened. It happened in the first. It happened last inning, and now again this inning.
Oh, I know. Pitch here is popped straight up.
Sky
Coming
high.
back is Fitzgerald, and he'll make the catch to put it away. And I know that there are a lot of people here that I think get nervous when balls are heading back towards the backstop.
Oh, yeah.
After the way that it turned out earlier in the season for William Kleffner, the catcher from Shawnee. He ran full speed and didn't see the backstop while he was looking for the ball, and has since been out the rest of the season, although wasn't as much of the season as we thought it was going to be.
Right, with
the limited amount of games. But luckily he's doing all right.
Yep. Denman 0 for 4 on the evening.
He's a nice kid too. We got to talk with him, and we made him do the PA for the last game that we were here for when Dave had some GM stuff to take care of. And he didn't do a bad job, because if you remember right, the first time that he did it, we scored 3 or 4 runs. And so after that, every time we came up to bat, he came back up and was the PA guy. Baseball players are very superstitious, is the moral here.
That one fouled back. Again, a Benrose Collision Center.
That one had a collision right off the roof. Is that the roof of the concession stand? No, it was the roof of tell you what, that had to be a heck of a ball, because it went up over that screen and then hit off the roof.
1 and 2. 2 and 2. As Grady retreats back to first base.
And one knobbed foul. And it's those are always interesting to me, because it was 2 strikes, and the way that he hit it, he turned the bat just enough for it not to be considered a bunt, which if you bunt foul on 2 strikes, you're out, but enough to where he swung forward to be considered a full swing and a foul ball. This one past the hole at shortstop, and Croy sees runners go to first and second now with 1 out. Again, we're in the bottom of the 8th inning here in Ottawa. Toledo with a 6-1 lead.
Colin Kocher.
Kocher is 0 for 4. He reached on an error in the first inning, however, and scored. The other times he struck out twice and grounded out to second.
And headed to play at Ohio Dominican. Slaps one down, and Stolly just waits to tag the runner. He will never have a chance on the fielder's choice at first to get Kocher, but he will, most importantly, tag out the runner going to third.
Got that lead runner.
And again, runs at a premium right now, because as Bohr steps up here, you don't want any more damage to be done.
No, nothing to give them any more insurance.
Borst, as a junior, batted .360 with 12 RBI. He scored 20 and stole 10 bases at Sylvania Southview.
6, 7, and 8 batters coming up in the bottom, or there you go, and the top of the 9th for the Fighting 63rd.
One of 16 players recruited by Hillsdale.
Ooh.
For next year's class, so they must be losing quite a lot. He slaps one up the middle. Great stop by Croy. Can he get the second out? Yes.
Nice job.
Out at second. He did a great job, because he had to come all the way from the hole behind second base, and his momentum kind of carried him down into the ground, but he was able to get the out. We go to the top of the 9th. One last chance for the Fighting 63rd here to not have to play in Findlay on Friday. We come back on zsportslive.com.
You can like us on Facebook, browse our site on the web, but you need to visit Beckman Jewelers downtown Ottawa. Experience the joy of trying on a new watch. Light up your finger with a diamond ring. Feel the excitement of finding that special gift. Share your thoughts with Beckman's friendly staff. 5 generations of Beckman Jewelers have been touching hearts with extraordinary jewelry and exceptional service, hand to hand, since 1888. Beckman Jewelers, downtown Ottawa.
6, 7, and 8 for Ottawa here in Stolly, Jones, and Dockery. They, between them, have, or I'm sorry, yes.
Dietering,
Stolly, and Jones, rather. Between them, they have a myriad of strikeouts and just one hit.
Yes, single by Stolly.
Oh, you don't circle it. That's what always messes me up.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It makes it easier to glance at. Again, we have at least one more game for the Fighting 63rd. If they can put up 6 runs here, that will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. here in Ottawa. Then presuming that they would hold that lead in the ninth.
Right.
Otherwise, it will be at 6 p.m. on Friday night from Flag City Field in Findlay, as they would take on either Napoleon or this team
and I
in
would
Toledo.
Assume that's under the lights.
I would imagine.
There would be some lights there.
Yes. It would not be the 9.
Or somebody bring some lights.
It would not be the 9:30 a.m. start that is listed on the Ottawa Legion baseball site.
First baseman.
But, you know, that's one of those weird things where you copy and paste that stuff at the beginning of the year.
Well, Dave wanted to get it, just get the game in, He has got things to do.
Dave's a busy guy.
That's right.
Don't mess with Dave. Dietering takes a ball to start off his at bat.
He was trying to get out of work,
But on the website it says 9:30 a.m. for Friday's game.
This Friday?
Yeah. If it were to play out that way. Dietering now with a ball. And he adds 2 to it. Matt Warnicki is waiting on deck. And a strike. Dietering had tossed the bat. He was sure that was ball 4.
It was a little low.
I don't know what I read. It was on there. So 3-1 for the future Wolverine in Dew. His 3rd inning of work. He came on in the 7th. And there's the walk that Dietering was looking for on the previous at-bat. So
batting for the Fighting 63rd, number 3, Matt Warnicki.
First at-bat of the game for Matt Warnicki as he will come on and hit. That's what I was going to say season, but I wasn't committed to it. First at-bat of the season for Matt Warnicki. I didn't know if maybe you had let him hit in one of those tournaments we weren't at. We'll see what he can do here.
Chandler Kirsch on deck.
As he fouls one off to even the count at 1-1. Warnicki hit to right field, tailing back towards the line, but coming up and making the catch is Hersher. Or Kotcher, rather, and he will put the out away. As now Chandler Kirsch, who we've seen here this season. He came in to pitch a couple of times. Also played in the outfield in the 5 games we've actually been here. Fred Shepard waiting on deck. So a litany of changes for the 63rd if this inning is to continue. It's not a bad idea, though, at this point, too, because not only does it get everybody else opportunities in the final, presumably the final home game of the season, but you also get maybe fresh takes against these guys that you haven't really been able to hit them with the guys who have been in.
Right.
In this game, 2 hours and 18 minutes old here in Ottawa. Kirsch puts one into center. And coming over to make the play is Mobius. And that will bring Fred Shepard to the plate. So 1-2. players from Continental to get in the game today. Fred Shepard, second team PCL this season. A right-hander, normally plays in the corner outfield slots for the 63rd. Runner on first, and a first pitch strike as the Fighting 63rd down to their last out in this game. Here's the pitch from Dew. Curveball bounced right behind the plate for a ball. Stays even. Now the count at 1-1 is. I'm kind of surprised with the switches that Dietering maybe wasn't pinch run for. Of course, I guess the guys that you would pinch run for him with, Kirsch, Shepard, are all batting right behind him, so it kind of limits your availability with not having a handful of players tonight as well. Pitch up top to Shepard. Runs the count to 3-1 with the leadoff hitter and Tristan Becker waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch. A walk would be monstrous here. But it's not going to be on that pitch. One of the hardest that Dew has thrown. And Preston is one strike away from ending this game. 3-2. 2 outs in the bottom or the top of the ninth. And Shepard, it was going to be a strike either way. But he half-heartedly offers the bat at the pitch, and Toledo comes away with a 6-1 lead. They will come back here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and they will take on Napoleon. That means that Ottawa will head to Findlay on Friday night at 6 p.m. They will take on either Napoleon or Toledo, the loser of the game here tomorrow night. So that's all we have here from Memorial Field in Ottawa. Thanks to Dave Kirsch putting up with us all 6 times this year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Fighting 63rd.
He likes this. He enjoyed it.
To 8-11-1 on the year. Again, they'll be in action on Friday night from Flag City Field in Findlay. One last time before we go, don't forget our trivia questions, esportslive@yahoo.com. What is the only city of the current 30 Major League Baseball cities to have not hosted the All-Star Game? Not Miami, because they hosted in 2 years.
Right. Not one, one that's, not on the schedule already.
6-1 is the score here, one final time from Ottawa, as Tristan Fonts takes the win for Toledo. Brad Croy with the loss, 5 1/3 inning, 5 runs. And that's all we have here from zsportslive.com. Have a great afternoon today, tomorrow, and we'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to tonight's contest, and be sure to follow us on Twitter @ZSportsLive for the best up-to-date high school sports information in Putnam County.